What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we have something super special for you. We have an old school Camaro with an LSA motor in it with a blower on top of it. Right now it's on pump gas with a methanol kit, but the car came to us with the tune already on it the way it is. The owner was complaining that he was having some overheating issues and a few drivability issues. Well, come to find out, after we get into the car, it had a lot more issues than that. We fixed them, we resolved them, and we get this awesome car back on the road. Let's get to the action now.
Yeah, so we that was our first like real pull. We left the tune as is. It does look like the meth is perhaps not working right now. And in addition to that, the car is going way leaner than what I'd like to see. And in fact, the targets in the tune file are significantly leaner than what I would like to be at. Now, it is possible that the meth was kind of band-aiding a lack of fueling, but I sure don't like to ever have a setup that's relying on the meth. At least not as strong as what I'm seeing here. I mean, we had target air fuel of 11.6 and actual was like 13, and then I'm backing out of it because we are crossing into very unsafe territory there. So, I mean, supposedly just like it sits, it did 750, but maybe the meth is just not working right now. So we need to figure that out before we go any further and even just have a problem on the pre-existing tune before I even get to do anything. All right, so here's the moment at which it starts to deviate, where target AFR is 11.6, which is leaner than I'd like it to be, but then actual AFR is 12.0, but even worse, like the closed loop comp 15%, current learn 19%, and it's still leaner than the target. So it is doing some scary things up there in the top end right now. I need to proceed cautiously and make sure we don't have an issue. All right, it is day 2 with the Camaro. We diagnosed that there was a fuel pump issue. We saw the fuel pressure dropping, and so we changed the fuel pump out. It now has a Walbro Hellcat 535, and hopefully it can do some good numbers now. Let's do it. Yeah, a lot. All right, that was a good run. That was the first run where I've been able to actually have my actual AFR be underneath my target AFR, which is the place I always like to start at as I'm working up. Start from too rich, too low timing, peel fuel away, and work your way up. Previously, we were way on the other side of that. Too lean, and then actually a part of the fuel system not capable of delivering the fuel. Now that we have the big pump, we're not using the meth. The meth was not working. We've not yet figured out why that's not working. The unit has power, the test doesn't work. I don't know, I'd rather not tune relying on the meth anyways. So now that we have the big pump, we're just gonna tune on pump gas without the meth for the moment.
Climb it up.
We've been running too rich now. Now that we changed the pump, I've had to take fuel out of the tune, out of the tune, out of the tune. I've turned off closed loop. I've turned off learning mode. So I just have the raw fueling that I have in the tune file. Once I get it perfect and I'm done, then I can turn all the closed loop back on so that the car can adjust small adjustments. But it looks like, man, it was very dangerous the way that it was operating when it came in here. He's lucky that he did not have a problem. lower low tens, but it's able to pull through it. Should be a nice looking curve now. Let's see what it looks like. Put off the chart up here. Looking good and smooth too. Like, had a lot of stair steps in it, even on the partial pulls on the previous pump, probably because the pump was shape is really good now. I don't know that we're going to do a whole lot more than that without getting the methanol working now. I just wanted to take a moment to mention how on this Terminator stuff, man, the software is powerful, and there's plenty of other powerful. AEM Infinity is very, very fast as far as responding to closed loop targets, and it can kind of band-aid over a bad tune. That may not be what's going on here right now. Maybe we just had a fuel pump that was failing, but there was a lot of closed loop, stored and learned stuff that goes on and that was going on here, where the car could feel okay because it has a pretty sophisticated and fast algorithm to adjust, but in actuality the car is running lean and dangerous things are happening. So if you have a Terminator ECU, take a look at your closed loop adjustment, and take a look at your learned parameters and see if you have stuff that's 10% and more, something needs to change. All right, I think we are probably about to do our final run here. I know that the AFR is right where I want it to be. I'm still in pure open loop, so whatever we do is the raw, and I'll turn the closed loop on in a minute, but I know the AFR is where I want it to be. I know the timing is pretty much as far as I'd like it to be, unless we were to get the methanol working or be on E85, so I think we're at a good stopping place for now. I'm gonna do this final run, and that's it.
So we got the Camaro off the dyno, going for a nice little ride right now and making sure it's all dialed in and perfect for him.
All right, we are all done with the Camaro. Ended up at 625 wheel horsepower, 725 foot-pounds of torque. Just took it for a little street rip to verify everything, and it is definitely doing everything it is supposed to do. Pretty impressed with the chassis and stuff. It's pretty well sorted for that power number in this old school car. It does nicely. This car came to us kind of as is with unknown modifications. The owner did a couple mods to it, but he doesn't know the complete history of what fuel pump it had, what injectors it had, what are the settings relevant for the meth kit that actually wasn't working. So the car came in, we saw right away meth kit's not working. We also saw, once we were on the dyno, I started to do dyno runs, I saw that, man, we're dropping fuel pressure. I had to stop dyno runs because I saw the car was going scary lean. I think it was relying on the meth kit previously, which is never a way that I like to set up a car. The car also had a cooling issue. It had a couple little leaks, but the fan settings were weird, and a few other settings were adding up to a car that was running hot all the time. So we were able to kind of diagnose through and figure out what parts the car had. We ended up changing the fuel pump out. We ended up changing the relay for the fuel pump. It's now a Walbro Hellcat type pump with plenty of room to spare now. You always want to have overkill on that fuel system, guys. But if you have a car like this, you're kind of unsure of the details, it's definitely something that we can figure out for you. If you feel like it's not quite running right, it's getting terrible gas mileage, it's doing something that you don't think is normal, then it's probably not normal, and it might be something that we can fix. So hit us up and schedule something, and we'll take care of it. And I think that's it. See you next time.